If you're raising a child with ADHD, emotional dysregulation, or intense meltdowns, there often comes a moment when you quietly wonder, maybe we just need more support. But then the questions start. Should we try counseling? What about parent coaching? Do we take a parenting class? Join a support group? And how do you know what will actually help your uniquely wired child, instead of giving you advice that only works for neurotypical kids and tends to backfire when you use it on yours? Today, we're unpacking how to figure out what kind of support is truly right for your family. So grab a notebook and let's get started. Ever feel like one meltdown turns your day upside down? Are you walking on eggshells with emotions and challenging behaviors? Need peace in your home? You're in the right place. I'm Jamie, mom of 7, professional counselor and parent coach. I've learned how to turn chaos into calm, stop meltdowns, and enjoy time as a family. If you're looking for effective tools, practical ways to connect with your uniquely wired child, and parenting tools that align with faith and family values, you've found it. So reheat that coffee, start that laundry fluffing again, and let's jump in. What kind of support or program is actually right for your family? Because when you're parenting a child with ADHD, DMDD, emotional dysregulation, or intense meltdowns, you don't need more noise or more confusion for that matter. You need the right support, and not all support is created the same. Today, I want to help you think clearly about what to look for and maybe even what to avoid. In our roughest season, it felt like we were doing everything. Counseling for our child in and outside of school, occupational therapy in and out of school, physical therapy in school, neurofeedback. We had school interventions with IEP. I was in counseling, my husband was in counseling, at times we met together for marriage counseling, and I was in several online Facebook support groups for child mental health issues. And I still remember clearly when a counselor looked at me and suggested parenting classes. If I'm honest, it stung. In fact, I felt a bit offended. I'm parenting 6 other children in addition to this high-need child. I had felt some success in parenting despite our current struggles. I didn't think we were totally stinking it up or anything. I didn't feel totally incompetent, confused, yes, but not totally incompetent. And yet those words landed so heavy on my heart because what I started to think was, do they think this is my fault? They must think I don't know what I'm doing. But here's what I had to admit. I had never parented a child with these unique needs before. This wasn't a normal parenting trip. This was a totally different road. And unless you've walked this road, you don't know the level of skill it requires. I didn't need shame because this was a different road. I needed different tools for this journey. You might be wondering, how do you know if you need more support? Well, you might need additional support, counseling, or coaching if meltdowns are frequent, intense, prolonged, or outside what you'd expect for your child's age or the situation. Or if your home feels tense or full of conflict, if you're feeling judged and misunderstood by others. Especially if you find that you're being offered a lot of obvious tips in parenting that just don't work for your child, as though you hadn't already tried those, right? Or it might be school struggles are ongoing and building, getting worse. Maybe you and your spouse are feeling the strain. Maybe the strain is between you and your child's co-parent. Perhaps your other children are being affected by the issues, and you see that, you know that, and you're not okay with that. You know you need to do something. Or it might be that you just feel like you're starting to lose hope that things will ever get better. And you might look into your child's future and feel a little scared, worried, uncertain, or desperate to help bring about some change. Maybe it's just one of these, but it's weighing heavily on your heart. More often than not, it's probably several of these. And you're tired, worn out, maybe even exhausted. And you don't want your family to feel like this forever. You know this isn't what you imagined, what you desire, or what you had dreamed of. And you know your family was meant for more. But you aren't quite sure how to turn things around. Well, you're not alone. But sometimes parents go out and they try to seek help, and there may be some common mistakes that are made. So you might be wondering, what are some common mistakes parents make when they're choosing support? When parents finally decide to seek help, they often choose based simply on price. And then they may end up with a program that isn't a good fit or isn't the right kind of support. They may choose quick fix promises that end up not fitting their child's specific needs. And maybe the person you're working with isn't really up to date, up to speed, in the know with what some of those specific needs might be. It might be that parents choose generic parenting programs that assume neurotypical wiring, but you find it backfires with your child's neurodivergent or unique wiring. Some parents choose discipline-heavy programs thinking we just need to be more strict, we just need to be more consistent, but you find that those may only escalate your meltdowns. Some parents choose those surface-level workshops that offer a lot of information, and they truly do inspire you, but they don't necessarily help you implement what you're learning. It might be that parents choose those Facebook groups. Again, I found some great community and some great support in those online Facebook groups. But the problem there is that those are usually not skill building. Or it might be that some families seek counseling when what they need is coaching. And sometimes families seek counseling and still feel like something is missing. So maybe they need the counseling and something else. And I want to speak carefully about this because both coaching and counseling are incredibly valuable. And both can play a valuable role in your family finding guidance and support. It's just important to understand the difference. Counseling usually addresses things like anxiety, depression, trauma, grief, family dynamics, maybe some past issues, and some deep emotional wounds. It usually provides diagnosis, treatment, and stabilization. It may include skills and coping strategies as just a part of the treatment. And for many families, it might be an essential piece of your journey. But counseling and coaching serve different purposes. Coaching, on the other hand, is educational and skill-based. It helps parents apply strategies consistently in everyday situations. It focuses on skill building, pattern recognition, accountability, and forward movement. Coaching is not diagnosing or treating mental health conditions. Instead, it equips parents with practical tools and strategies, and it helps them personalize those tools to fit your child's unique wiring. What works for your family? What works for the way you operate, for your dynamics, for your level of busyness, for your home setting. Counseling, coaching, one isn't necessarily better than the other. They simply serve different roles. Some families need counseling, some families need coaching, and some families will benefit from both. The key is understanding what kind of support your family needs right now. Both are valuable, but they serve different functions. And if you don't understand that difference, you can end up feeling quite frustrated. Now, maybe you're realizing that information alone hasn't been enough. You've gathered a lot of that, and you've read the books, but still feel stuck. Or maybe you buy the books, but you don't have time to get through them. If you know what to do, but can't seem to implement it consistently, that's usually the moment when accountability and guidance start to matter. I'd like to share this with you. Parenting an emotionally intense child can feel complicated, like you're juggling meltdowns, defiance, and stress every single day. But it doesn't have to be that hard. Imagine this. The next time your child melts down, instead of spiraling into chaos, you know exactly how to respond with calm and confidence. Sounds good, right? Well, that's what the Calm Connection Parent Coaching Program is all about. In this program, I teach simple tools that you can use right in the moment. Tools that don't require hours of reading, expensive appointments, or complicated systems. I'll even show you ways to create calm in less time than it takes to reheat your coffee. Parenting with calm and confidence doesn't have to feel impossible. It can be easier than you think. Join me inside at calmconnectionparent.com and let's get you back on this parenting journey with calm, confidence, and connection. You might be wondering, well, what makes a program actually effective? I can tell you this, after walking this lonely road, after years of trial and error, after navigating therapies, school plans, many medical appointments, numerous interventions, and attempting to do all the things, I realized what was missing. Our family needed reliable resources that I was struggling to find. I got bits and pieces in many places, and we had some great team members, but it was an arduous journey to find it all and piece it all together. And I also knew that not just everything out there was something that I trusted our family with or that I wanted to open our family up to. It needed to be something that would align with our family, our faith and our values. That's why I created the Calm Connection program to help walk parents through some of these things that we had to learn through trial and error, things that we discovered, adjusted, and needed to really understand in order to be effective in parenting our uniquely wired child. I want other families to have a resource that can save you from some of those struggles, the roadblocks, the errors that we made. Our experience helped me realize that support needed to be trauma-informed. It needed to focus on connection and not just behavior. It needed to teach implementation and not just ideas. It needed to address parent regulation because it's such an important factor. It needed to, of course, use the neurodivergent lens. It needed to include information and the lenses for understanding executive functioning and sensory processing. It needed to align with the family's values, and it needed to provide accountability, because sometimes you just need someone to walk with you as you do it. It's not permissive, not passive, not rigid, but secure, safe, structured, and connected. Rather than the appointment availability that seeing a counselor offered, those 50 minutes in the office every other week, if they're on time. I wanted to provide support that offered more consistent feedback and encouragement between sessions and more often. I wanted something that was a bit more interactive and involved to a different level than a counseling relationship allows. I knew there would be value in a variety of connections. A dedicated community of like-minded parents who are learning the skills together, weekly meetings, small group support, and the option for those one-on-one coaching sessions, because sometimes you need to talk specifically about your child's needs. And I know some people think the group thing just isn't for me, but with small groups, it can still feel very personalized. And I knew that families would need differing levels of support. So who is this support not for? Well, it's not for parents who are wanting a quick fix because it's going to take some work. It's not for parents who are unwilling to reflect on themselves because the truth is the only thing you can really control is you. It's not for parents who believe the only problem is the child because truly your child is still learning and growing. And they need you to be on their team, working together with them to help them become the child they were created to be with great purpose. And that's a pretty important job. This isn't for those parents who are unwilling to practice between sessions because it's hard to learn new skills if you aren't willing to put in the time to practice, to make those adjustments, to tweak those little things, to come back and get some feedback and try again. Skill building requires participation, to really buy in and practice the things that you're learning. You might be wondering, well, what happens when it works? Well, I can tell you this. By week 2 or 3, many parents have already began noticing new patterns, changes, differences. By month 2 or 3, meltdowns decrease. The way your child recovers from these meltdowns happens faster. Sometimes spouses even reportedly start trying some of the tools, even if they were resistant to start. Many families are losing less time to chaos. Parents are feeling confident, advocating for their child and their child's needs. Yelling decreases, trust increases, and connection strengthens. Many parents in the program often say, I'm not walking on eggshells anymore. Or I know what to do now. I don't feel so lost. Or I'm not afraid of the next meltdown. One of my favorites, I understand my child in a whole new way. It changed our relationship in a way I never knew was possible. That's success, not perfection. That's not what we're shooting for, but it's peace. It's calm. It's making changes in your family and home. If you've been carrying more than you were meant to carry alone, if you feel like you're losing clarity, if you're tired of trying different parenting tips that only seem to flop, the right support doesn't add pressure. Instead, it will bring clarity, and clarity brings calm because you don't need to be doing everything. You just need to be doing the right thing. You can try so many different things, but if you don't have the right tools, it may not make a difference. So how do you discern if coaching or another type of support is the right step for your family right now? You pause. You ask yourself, are we stuck in the same cycle? Are we losing confidence in parenting our child? Are we reading and researching, but can never really find the answers or implement things that make a change? Are we feeling isolated or alone? Are we reacting negatively or yelling more than we want to? Are those messy meltdowns running our home? Is our family's peace feeling strained or ruined? If the answer to any of these is yes, then information probably isn't the missing piece anymore. You probably have a lot of information already. Implementation is the issue. Accountability is the missing piece. Guidance and support is a missing piece. And that's where coaching can become so powerful, not because you're failing, not because you don't know what you're doing, but because this level of parenting requires a whole new level of skill. Now, this is the last in this series. And over the course of this podcast series, we've talked about a lot of things, like why your child has big reactions to small things, the difference between meltdowns and tantrums, why saying calm down might backfire with your child, what to do before, during, and after meltdowns, how to regulate yourself, what to do when support falls through, how to build emotional regulation skills intentionally, and how to think wisely about choosing the right kind of support. If there's one theme that keeps repeating, it's this. Your child is not giving you a hard time. They're having a hard time. And you're not failing. You just may not have had all the right information or the right tools that you needed. Parenting an emotionally intense ADHD, DMDD, or neurodivergent child is not ordinary parenting. It requires a nervous system lens, an executive functioning lens, a sensory aware lens, a personality lens, a connection-first approach, and a healthy, steady, and regulated parent. It requires calm and clarity. But I want you to know calm and clarity can be learned. Now, this series is drawing to a close, but our connection isn't. If you missed any episodes along the way, feel free to go back and check them out. And be sure to stay tuned as we start sharing about something very exciting. Yes, the Calm Connection Parenting Summit coming up in April. Be sure to join the Calm Connection Parenting Facebook group where we will be sharing the information first. You don't want to miss it. 20 great speakers, podcasters, and experts, door prizes, and a community of parents excited to learn and grow. You can't beat that. I hope to see you inside this online event. Now, if nothing else from this series, if you take nothing else from the series, take this. Emotional regulation is a skill. Connection is key. Your child's brain can change. Your patterns can change, and your home can change. Not overnight, not perfectly, but intentionally. You don't have to carry this alone, and you don't have to figure it out by trial and error for years. And you don't have to exhaust yourself doing all the things. And you don't have to sacrifice connection to get cooperation. I'm so grateful you've walked through this series with me. I'd love to continue supporting you in this parenting journey. Keep on keeping on. And know I'm here for you. Calm, confidence, connection. That's the path forward. That's it for today. If you enjoyed today's episode, would you take a quick minute to follow and share it with a friend who's looking for tools to parent those big emotions? And don't forget to join the Calm Connection Parenting Facebook group. This is where I can connect with you and offer support as you walk this journey. All right, I'll let you decide whether to fluff or fold that laundry now. But I'll meet you back here next week. Until then, keep calm and parent on.